Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're talking about some new film, some Cinestill 400D, and why it's important that new films hit the market every once in a while. When I started shooting film again in 2021, I anticipated there was going to be some films that I used to shoot that are no longer available, but I didn't think it would be this bad. But what I didn't expect was new films being released like this one. Companies like Cinestill are pushing the film boundaries further upstream to give photographers what they really want, a choice. Albeit a $40 choice at the time of my purchase, it's still one that I'll make daily. I often have a hard time choosing locations, as I'm sure some of you do too, especially when you're spending your hard-earned peso shooting film. The cost of developing, scanning, buying the film, it adds up really quick. So we're gonna give you a couple different vibes, a couple different looks. Let's go see what it can do. I'm gonna rate this film at 200 ISO. I've seen results from 200 to 800 that look pretty good, and I've seen some kind of interesting stuff pushed all the way to 3200 if you're into that much contrast, which I'm not. We're out in Malibu today, and the first thing I wanted to test was dynamic range. After all, this is 400 dynamic, so let's see what it looks like with some harsh shadows in the midday sun. It already has an interesting purple cast to the shadows, which I'm not exactly a fan of, but if you're into that, I guess it could suit you. But for me, I think I wouldn't go switching from Portrait 400 just yet. As far as dynamic range, I feel like there's just not enough. You can see the sign is starting to slightly wash out, and even the stairs with the halation, I feel like it just doesn't have exactly the right finesse to work with that type of light. You have to be really careful with your exposures with this film. I like it for this exact use. This is probably best use scenario is broad daylight and just a flat subject. I don't think you want to be shooting something that's got a ton of contrast with this film, or you're kind of gonna get some interesting results, how you'll see in a moment.
Ooh, that one was straight into the sun. We'll see if we get some sweet flares on that one.
Here's one of the bigger problems I find with this film is that it tends to shift towards purple in the shadows, and I truly dislike this a lot.
Let's check out this little hut. Yarg. This be my new home.
Here's a more contrasty scene, and this is where halation can be observed pretty easily where fringe would normally be. And it can be cool sometimes, but I find it kind of gimmicky at most. I don't mind it on 800T, but this takes the cake for halation king, and you'll see that later on in the portraits we take.
All right, we all know what the beach looks like. Let's go to downtown at night and see what this film can do during the nighttime. Let's do some night shots and we'll see what that looks like. See if it has any color shifts, see if it does anything weird. Let's do it. All right, I love this scene. Let's take a couple shots of this thing. A little underexposed, let's try. Oof. See if we can handhold 1/15th of a second. It's still kind of dark, but this is the right exposure, so let's give it a shot. Let's make sure we're in focus.
Here you see where the green cast takes over pretty heavily under any sort of halogen lights, and it can be a real bummer, but you can fix it in Lightroom if you're into that.
I love this. This could be neat. Ooh, I had to hold my breath on that one. 1/15 of a second.
I feel like this film borders on being so good, but these few cons won't win over the lomography boys, or at least me. The green tint can be seen in pretty much every single night scene. There's not really a way to escape it, even with a high contrast with light situation like this one.
No! I got it before the guy came, and that's all that matters.
Could have definitely used a few extra stops of dynamic range on this one. I actually really like this shot too, so there's that. This film just wasn't really made for the night, but we're trying, we're chugging along, we're doing a little something here. But that green cast is a killer, man. Honestly, it kind of numbs the vibe. Y'all are gonna kill me on this one, but it just wasn't exposed properly. I thought it was gonna be alright, but it was just not enough light. You gotta give this film some serious light. But hey, at least we got some halation on the moon.
All right, let's go take some portraits. We're here with Niki Small. Thank you so much. We're gonna take some portraits of her and see what we can do. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I feel like this is where the film slightly redeems itself. You could use the slight green cast to your advantage for photographing someone with a reddish skin type, neutraling out their complexion a little, but again, look out for halation because it'll sneak up on you like a bad burrito from a sketchy taco truck.
How'd you do this?
I don't know. Last of that thing.
What the fuck? Oh, okay.
Myself and I. Na, 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 na.
That's a good one.
It's just my time. Jumping in the deep end, my heart and I.
What about putting your hand on your knee and just kind of like you're bopping with it?
Yeah. Said it's just my time. It's just my time.
Happier?
It's just my time for God. Time for God. Said it's just my time. It's just my time. Just my
I'm wondering if there could be like a cool thing with this fucking mountain of amps. It's kind of neat.
That'd be cool.
My LED is set to daylight, so the green tint is still looming. It's just there, it's not going away.
Folks.
That looks pretty cool. Yeah, very naturey. Nice.
I was taking advantage of the tree that had just recently fallen down in my backyard, the one behind her.
Really good.
I like the way that these turned out a lot, actually. I think broad daylight will give you the best results possible.
film has a serious glow to it. You either love it
What
or
about
you
when just
hate
kind
it.
of like
And
resting on
I'm
the guitar? Just like,
kind of on the
like,
hate side, to be honest.
Did you like? Or it is I took the shot.
I feel like I might
You
have.
motherfucker.
I was like, it was my lazy. I wanted to just make an appearance really fast.
All in all, I'm glad that it's out.
like
I'm glad
that.
that they're releasing this film. But at the end of the day, I just don't think this is for me. I won't be switching from Lomo 400 or Portra 400.
I'm like, dude, you've got some flexible needs, my friend.
That's been my review of Cinestill 400D. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Leave a comment down below and tell me what you think. Are you excited to shoot with it? Thanks for watching, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.